Good evening, Mattsquatch here. Tonight I would like to talk to you about a subject that I've had a surprising amount of people ask me about. So I did a little research. I kind of knew a little bit already, but tonight I'd like to talk to you about Bigfoot Scat, their droppings. They're an animal, they eat, they sleep, they must defecate, they must leave their scat behind. So the biggest problem with identifying Bigfoot Scat is they're often in areas with bears, and they can be confused with bear scat. So let's jump into it. If you're a little squeamish, we do have pictures of scat, so you probably shouldn't watch this video. Anyway, here's a picture of a bear poop, a bear scat. It's you can see it's got berries and seeds and stuff in it. It's very dark, very typical. Here's another bear scat. This is when they're eating mostly meat. You can see lots of texture to it. It almost looks like a cow pie if you've ever seen that in certain areas. But this is very processed. You can see there's not a lot of straw or grain or berries in there. This is probably when they're mostly eating meat. So you can see kind of the shape of that. So this is a definite bear scat, just for your kind of reference. Now we jump into a couple pictures here. This is reported more of a Bigfoot scat. You can see there's definitely a lot more moisture to it than you'll see in a lot of bear. I believe those are bugs on there, by the way, if you're wondering what those black things are. It definitely looks a little more human-like, but a lot bigger, and that's kind of one of the triggering factors of a Bigfoot scat versus a bear scat, is that if it looks like a really large human dropping, then it's probably more likely a Sasquatch than a bear. You'll notice this one here is, smooth, long. It's dried out, so a lot of the moisture to it, but it doesn't really strike me as bear poop. That one's a pretty good suspect. This one here, you can see the gentleman there is crouching next to. That's a rather large pile. That could be Sasquatch poop, but do you see how it's kind of like in a pile and doesn't really have a shape and it's not tubular? To me, that strikes me more as a bear. I could be completely wrong. That could be Sasquatch, but to me that strikes me more like a bear dropping. I have encountered bear droppings out in the woods before, and they kind of have this big pile look in it. And since they're foragers and browsers, they got lots of twigs, sticks, berries, and bones and hair and all sorts of stuff in there. From what I've heard about Bigfoot being carnivore and then eating some other stuff, it'd probably be a lot more uniform. And I assume that their digestive tract is probably a lot closer to a human than it would be a bear, so it's probably why they look a lot more human-like. Anyway, this is just a couple quick notes. If you want to collect it, use a sterile implement, use a plastic bag, use gloves. You could probably find research online for more information on this subject and where to send it if you do collect samples. This is Matt Squatch. Please please subscribe. This was just a quick video on scat because I got some requests. Anything else you guys want to hear about, any other topics, please let me know. Thank you very much and have a wonderful evening.